Happy wife, happy life, right? Nope. Total bullshit. Here's why. Before I get into it, if you're a man and you're married and you believe that a healthy masculinity is vital for you and your family, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Happy wife, happy life is a total lie. I'll share two main reasons with you, and at the end I've got a bonus reasons as well. The first reason that happy wife, happy life is a lie is that human feelings don't work like that. What's the implication here? Happy wife, happy life. I take that to mean if my wife feels happy, then my life will be happy. Therefore, it's a good idea for me to do what I can to make my wife happy, right? That's my understanding of it. If you got a different one, please leave it in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. But going with that framework I just outlined for you, that's total bullshit. Total bullshit. And it's total bullshit because that's not how human feelings work. You can't make your wife happy. You can't. You can't make her sad. You can't make her angry. You can't make her any of those things. I can't make my wife. Nobody can make their wife feel something. That's not how human feelings work. Let me explain. I'm willing to bet that you have a faulty model of how human feelings work. This is how I bet you think human feelings work. Something happens out there. Maybe your wife says something rude, or your boss is a dick, or the weather happens. Something happens. And then in here, inside your head, you feel something. You feel angry or happy or sad, right? Most people are working with this model. And it makes sense because, well, I'll explain in a minute, but it makes sense why people think it this way. But that's not how it works. There's actually a third step. And to outline that, I'm going to tell you a story. I live in Taiwan. Not Thailand, Taiwan. Most people think Taiwan, oh yeah, I like Thai food. Not the same. Thai food's much better. Let me tell you, so I came to Taiwan, I've been here 8 years. When I first got here, I didn't speak any Chinese. I didn't read any Chinese. I came here with my wife, we traveled a lot together, we backpacked different places, had a good time. Finally, we decided to come and live in Taiwan, and we did. And we came here, we didn't have very much money, we're getting set up or whatever. And we arrive at the airport, we don't really know where we're going. We haven't sorted out a hotel or anything. We don't even know what city we're going to go into. Literally, we just show up with a bit of cash and an open mind. So we go through customs and immigration the first time. People speak Chinese in Taiwan. And so we're both sharing this experience. We're shoulder to shoulder. We're having the same experience. I find it exhilarating. I find it exciting. I'm kind of hopping with that new place energy. And my wife is a bit more reserved. She's a bit anxious. She's holding back a little bit. Why? If the model that we were talking about is true, external event leads to internal feelings, then why did we both have different feelings? Because the model is faulty. It's missing a step. Something happens out here, the weather happens, and then inside your head, you make that mean something. You interpret the event, you assign it meaning somehow, and then you feel something. That's how it is for everything, literally everything. There's a layer between out there and the feeling you get. That's your map, that's your filter, and how you filter out things, or not filter out, but it's how you filter things and give them meaning. That means that, and that means that. So now the reason that I said a minute ago that it's understandable why people think like this, and that's because most of your meaning making is already done. It's already finished. When you were a kid, everything's new. You start assigning meanings, and then slowly those meanings simmer down into your unconscious. And now when most things happen, you don't consciously make the meaning or even know that the meaning making is happening, right? and you just react, or you just feel something, you don't really know why you feel it, or it seems like, oh, the weather made me feel happy, whatever. But that's not how it works. So any kind of self-development work on you or your wife will start there. It will start with you digging up those meanings, looking at them, and either saying, oh, that's rubbish, or saying, yeah, that one's pretty good, I'm going to keep that one. But that's choosing to, that's a big part of self-development, is self-development. That's a big part of self-development, is choosing what things mean. There are very few objectives, and arguably no objectives. Depends on if you believe in God or not, but that's a whole other conversation. So that's the first reason, right? Human feelings don't work like that. Like back to happy wife, happy life. If you are going to have a happy life, then you need to make your wife happy, except you can't make your wife happy, only she can. It's an inside job. Happiness is an inside job. So what a lot of guys end up doing is they end up pleasing their wife, trying to please her all the time. Like in the moment, the surface, like, oh, is she riled? You know, let me walk on eggshells, or let me go wash the dishes so she doesn't get in a bad mood and get pissy because she has to wash the dishes, or somebody's got to wash the dishes. You see what I mean? So guys end up trying to please their woman, and then what does that do? Well, that leads me into the second point of why happy wife, happy life is total BS. Is because if you follow it, you're going to end up trying to please your wife. And if you end up trying to please your wife, then what happens to your status? It goes from a status of equals to she's on a pedestal and you're down here being subservient. You're servicing her feelings. You have made it your job to manage her feelings. See what I mean? And once you start, it's hard to stop. Not impossible, but it's hard to stop, because when every relationship you have, you train the people to treat you the way they treat you. You do. And then it goes very far with your wife. So that's the second reason. Like no healthy relationship between adults can be unequal. I mean, your boss your boss, okay, that's an unequal relationship, but that's never going to be a relationship of equals, right? Not really, not if he has the power to fire you. So in a marriage, you want it the relationship of equality, right? I mean, that's what feminism is about, equality. So in a marriage, you want a relationship of equality. That's what you want. That's the healthiest way to do it. With as many adult relationships as you can, you want them equal. So if you follow the happy wife, happy life paradigm, you're going to end up, she's going to be on a pedestal and you're going to be below. And that's going to lead to that's going to lead to nights of loneliness in the marital bed, if you get my drift. So those are the two big reasons. Feelings don't work that way, and then it creates a relationship of inequality. Okay, and now the bonus reason. And before I get to it, in no way I'm suggesting that you should be mean or disrespectful to your wife. I think kindness and respect are at the foundation of a healthy relationship with everybody. And I think they should be part of the default way that you interact with the world, until there's reason not to, if that makes sense. So when I say happy wife, happy life is life, I don't mean that you should just go around being a dick to your wife. Don't mean that at all. I think you should be kind to her and respectful to her. So the bonus reason, the feminists are going to love this one. If happy wife, happy life is like a good model for a marriage, and that means that you're going to go around pleasing your wife, trying to manage her feelings for her, what does that mean about her? Do you think that means that she's a healthy, mature adult, or that she's still somehow an emotional child who needs parenting? You know what I mean? That's what I see. If you see a third way that I'd be happy to hear about in the comments. I'll be talking about this kind of stuff, about how to be a masculine man, how to be a good man in your marriage, how to win in marriage. And I don't mean like so that your wife loses, so that you both win. If you got kids, so that they win. It's a win-win-win situation. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, subscribe and hit the bell icon. And I'll see you, I'm not going to say I'll see you in the next video, because people say that, and I know I'm not going to see you. You will see me in the next video. I hope you watch the next video, okay? And until then, smile. You're not dead yet.